Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Stoppage Time. I am Carmine Bianco of WagerTalk.com. With me, Nick Borrman of WagerTalk.com, Kevin Dolan as well, and Pavlos Laguretos of Sports Memo. Guys, good morning. How you doing? We usually start with this is an 11 a.m. show. I'm used to doing 1 o'clock. I usually start my 11 o'clocks by saying good morning, puckers, as Matt Mary says in chat. But there is no puck time show today. That's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So let's go roundtable here first. Kev, how you doing, buddy?
Good. Obviously, apologies for last week. Irish internet never the best at even during a good time. But we were going through some storms, and then I couldn't fix the computer because I'm a bit of a Luddite when it comes to like technology. So, but finally, yeah, thankfully my wife got it all set up for me this week. So we're back on business.
That's good to hear. Yeah, I was going to ask you. It popped up on my Facebook the other day. It was my buddy's birthday in Ireland. Mickey, you wouldn't know him, would you, Mickey?
Oh yeah, Mickey.
Yeah.
Yeah, sound lad, sound lad.
Kev, how's it going? Sorry, Nick, how's it going?
Going well, man. Getting ready for U.S. Open golf tournament this week, so I'm excited for that
Yeah,
coming
I'm
up.
expecting the text
I'll,
message with the winners, Nick.
I'll have most of that done hopefully tonight, and then of course we got Bundesliga, which I love to bet, coming back this weekend. So I'm really excited for soccer this weekend.
Yeah, it's great. We have Serie A, Bundesliga returning. La Liga is already in play. League One, of course, is in play. Most importantly, EPL, and then some of the other leagues. Denmark started, the Netherlands started, Belgium started. So everything is back in full force, which before we go to Pavlos, my good buddy Pavlos, I'm going to talk to you about the show special. These specials, guys, I'm going to put them up every show. They last for 24 hours and then they are done. So you can get a month of soccer, regularly 199 for only 139 by using coupon code EPL60. I see our literal subscribe button is over the EPL60. So, Nick, if you can just write in there promo coupon EPL60, and that'll drop it down to $139, 30 days of any one of the cappers on today's show. And I'll try and do one on Fridays, a weekly one or a yearly one. Pablos, my buddy, it's getting cold here in the Great White North in Canada. Tell me the weather's good there and tell me you're doing fine.
The weather is still good here. There's only just a bit of wind. The temperatures are still really high. We still go to the beach, cleansing ourselves, the regular stuff for Greeks. Uh, yeah, doing great overall.
When you say the temperature is really well there, are we talking, do you guys use Celsius or Fahrenheit there?
We use
Uh,
Celsius. It's around 30,
30.
around 30, 31.
Oh,
Yeah.
how nice for you. It's 13 Celsius over here today. So
Oh,
I went out this morning because my renovations are just about done, but I need to get some more paint. So I went to the store early this morning and went to the post office, and I literally walked outside and then walked back inside, grabbed my jacket, and then went back out again. Um, Little cold, but it's what it is. Welcome. Yes, I recognize some of the guys in the chat there. Can't remember the name of Oath. Yeah. Please don't spam us today. You're a good guy. Chris, welcome to the chat. La Maquina, welcome as well, too, guys. We are going to try and give you guys some winners. We're going to do today's show League One uh, free plays for games that are played today, tomorrow, and on Thursday. So we're going to cover those. I want to do a quick recap of the EPL. It was the opening weekend of the EPL. And before we went to air, we were actually just talking about it. 6 of the 8 games were won by the away teams. The only home teams to win were Liverpool over Leeds, the game that Nick and I did live in-game betting on and made some money on. It was a fantastic game with 7 goals. And the polar opposite of 7 goals would be what happened in the Crystal Palace Southampton game as Palace won 1-0. Kev, I'm going to go to you first. Any takeaways from the opening weekend? Arsenal looked pretty good, but it is Fulham that they were playing. Chelsea looked pretty good yesterday. Anything else you saw?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was on the Liverpool minus 1.5. So, I mean, 22 shots to 5. Leeds were fantastic in front of goal. And look, they look to be a great addition to the Premier League. They look like a really exciting team. So, it's going to be interesting to see where they go, forward from here. But, the game that stood out for me, you just mentioned it, Crystal Palace, Southampton. The only reason I'm picking that out specifically is because I said on another show, there is no way Southampton lose this game. And I was like 100%. It's either draw or Southampton. And like I look like I've got egg on my face now because it was like, but I thought Southampton like 71% possession. I thought what is it, Guiata and goal? He was fantastic. I mean, Che Adams had a shot, Danny Ings had a massive header near the end. But that was probably the most surprising result for me because I gave out Southampton top 6 on here. I'm high on this team. And they go and lay an absolute duck egg first game of the season. So I want to see better from them.
Yeah, and I think you probably will moving forward. It's one of those ones. And in all honesty, Crystal Palace have not started seasons well in the EPL. I think it was either last year or the season previous to that where I think they went 0-8 out of the gate and didn't score a goal through 8 games. So this isn't a team that normally starts quick in the EPL. So a bit of a surprise. But Hampton will have a good team, and I'm pretty sure that they'll bounce back from that. Nick, anything?
Spurs, disappointing. They looked boring. They couldn't create anything against Everton. I thought they were just, I think it's like already. I think Mourinho's got half a dozen games. If they don't completely turn it around, people are going to be calling for that for his head already. I mean, he's not a likable guy as it is. Go in and you get shut out. I mean, they barely even generated decent chances. They had a couple early in the first half, but that second half they couldn't do anything. So that was the biggest surprise for me this week. Disappointing. I was on the Spurs also, so of course that doesn't help the situation. But I think they were the biggest disappointment this weekend that I saw.
Yeah, I was surprised by that Spurs one as well too. In that EPL weekly newsletter, and the new one will be up this evening, so you can head over to my page at WagerTalk and pick up the EPL weekly for this coming week. I did have the game of week as Tottenham and Everton, and Tottenham has a pick on there, so that one went down. A little disappointed in them as well too. Didn't play very well. I expect better from this team this year because it's a second season for Mourinho, and if we've learned anything from him, it's that his second season with teams are usually his best seasons with teams. He did it with Chelsea and winning the title. He did it with I guess it was Madrid. He did it with Porto. And then I think he did it with Chelsea again, second time around, and Man United, where I think they finished second, I believe so. So his second seasons are always his best seasons. So we'll see if anything happens from there. But, I was happy that the trends in the newsletter that told everybody to basically take the over in the Chelsea game worked out as Chelsea won 3-1. Pavlos, anything from those 8 games?
Yeah, I'd like to resign my proposal. Last week I said that West Ham are gonna finish in the top 10, but then I said that I haven't looked at the schedule yet. So I did look at the schedule. By the way, West Ham lost by 2-0 at home to Newcastle. So the next games for West Ham are away at Arsenal, at home against Wolves, away at Leicester, away at Tottenham, at home with Manchester City, and away at Liverpool. So I'll just rephrase and say that David Moyes, the coach of West Ham, is the first one to probably be sacked. You just go on your sports books and see if there's a prop bet on David Moyes, the coach of West Ham, to be the first to be fired this season.
I like it.
Yeah, here in Canada, in the States, they don't offer it on most books. But I know in Europe and in England, I think it's I'm trying to remember if it's Sky Sports or I know that's the TV station. But there's a sports book there. I can't remember. It's not William Hill or something like that. But they always do have manager props to be fired. If you just Google it and just put EPL managers or Premier League managers to be fired, with the word odds in it, you'll find the sports book, and they do offer it. I used to play some of those back in the day. I don't do it now because you just never know. We usually see that happen in the second half of the season. Okay, so we are going to kick off because there's a game today. So I want to get this going right off the bat. So I'm going to throw this one to Nick first. We have Montpellier at home hosting Lyon. Montpellier are 1-1, win and loss. Lyon are win and a draw from their two games. Montpellier is plus 300 at home. The draw is plus 250. Lyon is minus 110, and the total is 2.5, 125 on the over. At a couple of minutes before we kicked off this show, I just wanted to make sure to see if there was any news, because I know Barcelona have an agreement in place, Nick, for Memphis Depay from Lyon. The only thing is, I don't think they can announce it yet because they need to sell players, Barcelona. So, with one of them being Suarez. Suarez is he's being, for lack of a better word, boys, I think he's being a bit of a dick with Barcelona right now and dictating his own terms. So, with that said, Nick, your thoughts on this game?
I like Montpellier. Montpellier, excuse me. Got to get back to my French. At home here, plus a half a goal. They're off a strong 3-1 win at home over Nice this past weekend. And Lyon, they couldn't even score a goal. They were a 0-0 draw at Bordeaux. Montpellier they were really good at home last year. They had the third best record in the league. They were 10 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, and they had a plus 16 goal differential. I mean, they were one of the biggest disparities of home and away form. They have just 1 loss at home in over a year, which came against PSG. It was the only one they had. Lyon was actually better on the road last year, earning 21 points compared to only 19 at home, which is surprising. But even still, they were just 6 wins, 3 draws, and 6 losses. They did have a positive goal differential at plus 5. They had their impressive run in the Champions League. We all remember that just a few weeks back. They made it to the semifinals, knocked out Man City. But really, they did all that damage as underdogs. I think they play their best when the least is expected of them. You know, they play a different style at in that kind of a game. Most of the time in Ligue 1 against probably anybody but PSG, they're going to be instilled as favorites, which they are here. And I think their lines are often a little inflated in league play. I mean, they are definitely on the better, one of the top 4 teams in the league. But I don't think they're head and shoulders above anybody by any means. And again, I think they're a little overrated when it comes to league play. If you look at their record against the spread last year, including the first 2 games this year, they're 11-18 against the spread. Just another idea that they are often kind of overvalued on the betting markets. And laying a half goal here at Montpellier, which is, again, a very, very good home side off a very nice home win over Nice last weekend, I think it's tough to do. They've covered this line 3 straight games at home against Lyon. They won 1-0 last year, and then they drew each of the last 2 years. So they prove they can already compete with Lyon at home. I just think it's too much. I think Montpellier is the way to play this one. Not to win, but to cover the half a goal. If I was going to look at the total, I would lean towards the under here just because the series history is usually low scoring, and Montpellier is a pretty good defensive side. But I'm going with the side here, and I like the home team.
All right. I'm not going to ask you guys for rebuttals because I like Nick's play here. And I just want to give you guys your own games to go through. But yeah, Nick, good one there. Guys, I want to remind you today is Tuesday. It's $2 Tuesday. $2 Tuesday today is the one and only, the legend, Dave Koken. He is on an absolute monster run. You have to buy his long-term packages, more so other than today's $2 pick, his long-term packages, because Dave does get a lot of late information, so his plays go up late, so they're never out early in the morning a lot of the times. Getting those ones, the minute he bets them, he puts them up, and then you get those plays. So head over to WagerTalk.com, click on Dave Koken, and you can get the $2 play today. Should be up, I think, shortly. All right, we are going to head over to the next game here. Kev, I'm going to give you this one. This is an interesting one. If you PSG and Metz, if you told Metz at the beginning of the season, hey, after the first 2 games, you'll be tied on points with PSG. Would you take them? I think they would say in a heartbeat. Unfortunately, they are both 0-2. PSG have dropped both games, having issues with players in the first game with COVID who missed the game. And then the second game against Marseille was literally a brawl fest at the end. 5 red cards. Neymar getting a straight red right at the end of the game for punching a player in the back of the head. Um, Not the way PSG wanted to start their season after losing 1-0 in in the Champions League final, but they are minus 400, much lower line than you would normally see against Metz. The draw is plus 500 and Metz is plus 900. Any thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, like it's the red alert signs going off for PSG right now. They haven't had two straight opening losses since 1984, 1985. That's a long time. They've also more worryingly had no goals over those two games as well. And you touched on the last game against Marseille. That's one of the craziest games I've seen in a long time. 5 red cards, 3 for PSG, 2 for Marseille. Neymar accused Marseille defender Gonzalez of calling him, supposedly it was like a monkey SOB, big racial slur, and that's why Neymar lashed out, and as you said, he hit him in the back of the head. The funniest part for me about that whole episode was hours later, so literally Neymar has had plenty of time to calm down. He's a professional, and he was interviewed. And they asked him, do you regret hitting him in the back of the head? And he said, yeah, I do regret it because it should have been his face,
Yeah.
which I found very comical. Like, so obviously, he's not very unapologetic there. But look, if that was the case, if that's what, Alvaro Gonzalez said, then, fair enough. But then when they interviewed the managers, Thomas Tuchel, said, obviously, he took the diplomatic response. There's no place for racism in soccer. But then Villas-Boas came out on the Marseille side and he accused Di Maria of starting the whole thing by spitting at Alvaro. So there's a lot of bad blood there, and it's going to be interesting to see how PSG come into this game. Look, through a combination of suspensions, injuries, quarantine, they've got no Neymar, Paredes, Mbappe, Icardi, Navas, Marquinhos. It's basically 75% of their Champions League final squad is out. Saying that though, even the reserve squad should be able, you would imagine, to take care of Metz here. Di Maria's back, Draxler's back up front, and more importantly for me, that midfield core. I've said this before in the Champions League shows. I'm very high on Idrissa Gueye. I think he's a great player. You got Verratti there, Herrera, so that core in the centre is relatively unchanged. PSG haven't lost to Metz at home since 1996-97. Again, a very long time. They've won all of the 9 last head-to-heads. And in terms of the total, 7 of the last 9 head-to-heads have went over 2.5. And you can kind of expect a quick start here if PSG are to bounce back. 7 of the last 8 head-to-heads have produced over 1.5 first-half goals. So, even with injuries, and maybe because of injuries, especially at the back, suspensions and whatnot, I lean goals. I think PSG are going to answer the critics somewhat. So first half over 1.25 minus 112 at Pinnacle, and that's the lane for this game.
No, I like it. And if you look at some of the exact scores, for this game, the lowest is 1-0 PSG, but at plus 600. But then it goes up marginally. 2-0 plus 650, 2-1 is plus 650, 3-0 plus 750, which is normally higher than that price. And then you even go to 4-0, and 4-0 is only 11-1, plus 1100. Normally in any game, but I understand this is PSG, but this is a PSG side that is not a full side, of course, because with guys still missing, 4-0 would be much higher than that. It'd be about 16 or 18 to 1. As far as the game is going, I think Mbappe will still miss it. Marquinhos and Icardi, I think they're still on quarantine, but that'll probably be updated at some point tomorrow. But yeah, I completely agree with you in the sense that even with their it's priced right now for their bench or their backup squad or their juniors at minus 400, and it's actually gone up in the last 30 minutes just before we went to air to minus 450 now. So I agree with you. I think there's goals here. I think you're bang on with this one. Um, just a couple of lows and some guys. Please remember to hit the like button here. Let's get those ones up. Robert McIntosh, welcome your first show here. That's great. Good to see you. A couple of other new guys. EMJ, welcome. Matt Mary, Matthew. Matt Mary mentions about the pie to score a penalty. Before you bet that, if you're betting it, you might want to just select void if player doesn't start, because we don't know the status of Depay heading into this game as of yet, because of the whole thing with Barcelona. So he could be held out of the squad if that deal is imminent, to avoid obviously any type of injury to him. Okay, Pavlos, we're heading over to the other team involved in that free for all, Marseille. They're 2-0 right now. Hosting Saint Etienne, who are also 2-0 right now. Marseille's plus 100, or even money. The draw is plus 230, and Saint Etienne is plus 300 at home. Marseille was, they were sort of targeted to finish at least top, somewhere in the top three of Ligue 1. Saint Etienne, not so much. I think they're punching over their weight right now, but they are playing well. They're 2-0. What are your thoughts on this game?
I'm gonna start with saying that I had a free play on the PSG versus Marseille, and it was over 3 goals. Obviously, the guys they took 13 cards and no goals, so it was a really weird match. But I did propose the at least one red card in that match at plus 400. Now there were like 5 or 6 red cards in that match, so it was pretty easy. Anyway, let's look at Marseille, who started the season with a couple of wins. They were both on the road, but so did Saint Etienne. And Saint Etienne won both matches at home with clean sheets, which is kind of weird because last season they weren't so good. They were actually pretty bad. They finished at the 17th spot, just 7 points above the relegation zone, which is weird because they don't have such a bad roster, especially for the French Ligue 1. So Saint Etienne, they did a really bad job on the road last season. They had, in 14 matches, they had 4 wins and 10 losses. They scored exactly 14 goals, 1 per match, and conceded 27, which is almost 2 per match. So yeah, heading into this match, I'm not very sure that they'll keep on their winning streak. I think that Marseille, even though they'll be missing a couple of players who got red carded in the previous match, they have the upper hand in this game. If you look at historical records between the two sides in this venue, there is no Saint Etienne win up until 89. I don't know how much further I could go, but from 89 to 2020, there's no Saint Etienne win in this venue. So yeah, Marseille, as I said, they'll be missing a couple of players who got red carded, but that shouldn't be a very big problem. They do have some solid reserves. The odds are at plus 100 for the home win. Marseille to win are at plus 100, and I think it's a fair value here because Saint Etienne, I think they already exceeded expectations with a couple of wins with clean sheets. They historically and traditionally do bad on the road. They don't play well away from home. So Marseille have won the last 4 matches as hosts against Saint Etienne with clean sheets. It was 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, and 4-0, the last 4 matches in this venue. So yeah, I'm gonna take the home win at plus 100 here.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And when you look at something like this, and to go back to what you were saying about Saint Etienne when they travel to face Marseille, 23 games, which in competitions, not including friendlies. We won't take the friendlies that they play into consideration because I think there was a couple of them. But in the 23 competitive games they played, Marseille have won 19 and drawn 4. So that shouldn't be the reason why you're betting it, but you should always take trends and records into it because some people just hold over other teams. And then the other thing is, you sort of look at the teams that Saint Etienne have played, and you can only beat the teams they give you, but they beat Lorient at home 2-0, and then a 2-0 win against Strasbourg. So this is their first true a road game after two very easy home games. And even with a couple players missing, I think the plus 100 right now is a good price. And I wouldn't doubt that drops to like minus 110, minus 120 by game time. So if you're going to get
Exactly.
it, avoid the juice and grab it now. Guys, I'm going to mention one more time to you guys. It's a show special, 24 hours only for this. It's not valid anytime after that. EPL 60. Use that code. Head over to either wagertalk.com or sportsmemo.com. Select one of the four show handicappers, one of us four. The 30-day package, enter in that coupon code EPL60, and that'll give you $60 off the $199 package. So you get $139 for 30 days of soccer. Somebody can do the math there for me or whatever. That's like a little over $4 a day, I believe. And an absolute great deal when you consider EPL has started, La Liga has started, Ligue 1 has started, and this weekend is the Bundesliga and Serie A. So all those ones are in play, as well as the Eredivisie in Holland, the Jupiler in Denmark, and then in Belgium and Denmark. So those two leagues have started as well too. So there's just an absolute ton of soccer, daily soccer plays. You're going to get a lot of them, a lot of plays for that for those 30 days. So pick up one of those packages and save some coin, and that's for 24 hours only. Let's finish this off, guys, with the Suarez Award. Now, it's funny. I wish I could post or show a video of the submissions that these guys had given me. Maybe Pavlos or Kevin or somebody can retweet out the video that they showed. But these guys would have been hands down Suarez Award winners. That goes to complete ineptitude or moment of brilliance. But one guy, he literally is walking in on goal and completely whiffs on the ball, almost falls over it, and it goes out of play. That would be the Suarez Award winner. But I'm going to go to Kevin first because I know you have something lined up for me.
I mean, I'm just going to go back to the game that I watched. The Southampton Crystal Palace game. If you watch that game, it was just the officials in that game. The officiating was so bad. They gave like Walker Peters, he did a tackle. The referee pulls out a red card. Then it goes to, because it wasn't even that bad. So Walker Peters is standing there like, what did I get a red card for? Then it goes to VAR, and then VAR overturns the referee's decision, just gives him a yellow card. So then he has to reach into, he looked, sheepishly. He's like, oh, no, sorry, it's a yellow card. And I mean, that wasn't even the worst of it. Zaha's running down the left side of the field. There's like, the commentator's like, oh, is it offside? No flag. So he runs and runs and runs. Then he puts it in the back of the net. Then he's celebrating for about 30 seconds. And then finally, there's a flag goes up. And it was just one of those games like Zaha's like literally like 40, 50 seconds. Like, what are you doing? Usually it goes on about 10, but not that long. So it was just a comedy of errors from the officials in that game. And yes, for me, that was the Suarez Award.
Before I go to Nick, I would like to a quick thank you to one of the games that I had. Two games yesterday at WagerTalk. One of them was Chelsea minus a goal. They won 3-1, covered that one. I also had under 2 in the Wolves Sheffield United game, under 2, and 6 minutes into the game, the score was 2-0. So I was about to give myself the Suarez Award winner, but thankfully, and I'd like to thank these two teams for absolutely locking it down and not scoring another goal in 90 minutes of play, because there was another 5 minutes of injury time, 90 minutes of play, going scoreless. So I take the Suarez Award away from myself and give it to those teams for absolutely stunning defensive soccer for the last 90 minutes. Nick, award winner.
I'm going to go with Mo Salah in a good way. I liked his haircut. We talked about it on our live show, Carm. I think he looks faster, right? His hair's not slowing him down. He scored 3 goals. 2 of them were penalties, but I like his new look. To me, the Suarez Award, like you said, can be a really, really dumb play, or Suarez has more moments of brilliance. I think he's gonna do great in the field because of his haircut this year. Mo Salah.
Mo Salah is the winner. The guys in the chat. Okay, Oathkeeper, you cannot be if you spammed us today like you spammed us on Saturday. I would kick you out of the group and make you the Suarez Award winner. But we're going to keep you around for a little while. Jim Tepe mentions, do we like anything in those EFL Cup games? I usually skip the first round myself. I'm not sure about the other guys, and it's just because even when you look at some of the bigger teams, like let's say Newcastle or Crystal Palace, I hate to call Crystal Palace a big side, but I have to because they're in the top league. West Ham, Bournemouth. You just don't know who they're going to play as far as the players in their lineups. They're a complete pass for me today, but I will look at them in the as they move into like the third rounds or so. Any of you guys have anything, Nick?
No, I passed on the
Kevin?
cup. Same reason. I don't know who's playing.
Kevin?
No, we got 2 players up there. Actually, the players that me and Nick talked about there up in the French league, but no EFL Cup.
And Pavlos, any EFLs?
No.
All right. Okay.
I stay away.
Just making sure. Welcome, Presmark. Savino as well, too. Guys, make sure to hit that like button. We love those likes, of course, and more so than anything else, the more we get, the better I can rub it into the Prez that we get more likes than any of his shows. So let's just keep smashing that button as much as you can. Pavlos, my friend, who's going to go and hit the beach in his 30 Celsius weather out there. Make sure to put some lotion on or whatever. But a Suarez Award winner, my friend.
I just posted the video on my Twitter account. You can find me on Twitter at Poly_WT. That's exactly what Carmine was saying earlier. This guy just simply cannot miss this chance. I mean, even if you put an infant, he would kick the ball inside. A dog, just the air, just by sheer randomness. I don't know. Just look at the video, guys. It's just amazing how this guy lost.
So, head over to Twitter if you're there. Follow all of these guys, of course. But Polly_WT, you said?
Yes.
And check it out, and you'll find that video that he just posted. It's one of the most inept things. And can you imagine if you needed this guy to score that goal to win either a side bet or a total, and this guy completely muffs it? Absolutely brutal.
Imagine having the under in that match, though.
Yeah.
Or just something like that.
He might have had the under.
Exactly.
Guys, on Friday's show, we are going to cover round 2 of the EPL schedule that goes. And these games are all spaced out. If you're wondering why the times are a lot different than they were last year, they have an early game that goes at 7:30 on Saturday, then at 10 o'clock, at 12:30, and at 3 o'clock. These are done because of the fact that no fans are allowed in the stadiums as of yet. The games in Europe are being shown on live TV in the UK. So they're spacing these games apart to get as many on TV as opposed to making them all at 10 o'clock. So that's the great thing as far as that goes. And then on Sunday, you get the exact same thing, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then Monday games is the same 1 and 3:15. These are all Eastern times, of course, that I'm mentioning. But it's great for if you're a bettor and you only want to bet one game at a time. This schedule is perfect for you because you can literally bet them and one at a time. So we will cover that on Friday, and we will also be doing a live betting show on the weekend. Nick and I'm going to leave the game up to him to see. I know he's a huge Crystal Palace fan, so he might want to do the Manchester United Crystal Palace game. Or he might be interested in doing the Leeds Fulham game. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave that up to Nick.
That sounds
and tune into those shows because I am giving away an official EPL jersey of your choice. So this is the way it works on those live shows, not here, on those live shows. You tune in, We start the show 15 minutes before game time. You pick the final score of the game. It doesn't matter if you and somebody else choose the final score. Anyone who gets the correct score gets an entry into the draw. After 4 live shows, I'll do a draw on Twitter, pull a name out, and that person wins a jersey of their choice. You DM me your address, the team that you want, and I'll have an EPL jersey sent to you, autographed by none other than Kevin Dolan. If you want a Cork City jersey, he'll get you one of those as well.
Don't sell it on eBay. Don't sell it.
So
The gold dust, absolute gold dust.
guys, with that in mind, 23 likes. Let's get it at least to 25. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. EPL60 is the code. Head over to WagerTalk.com or Sports Memo, and you can get 1 month for only $139. That coupon literally goes dead in 24 hours. So if you don't use it now, you can't use it tomorrow at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon because you're like, hey, let me use that code. It won't work. So don't tweet to me tomorrow afternoon, hey, it won't work. It'll be dead at 11 a.m. tomorrow. So take advantage of that deal. Nick, best of luck. Kev, any last words, guys?
No, just those 2 players up we got right now. So now's a great time to jump on that EPL 60 coupon.
All right. You heard that. Head over to wagertalk.com or Sports Memo. Take advantage of that. It's a show special. So it's a 24-hour one, 30 days of soccer, $139. You can't beat that. Trust me. And guys, just good luck with your plays. And thanks to everyone for tuning in.